All right, get your program and then just come and look to the left.
All right, thank you, good evening, and welcome to our winter concert. You're hearing our jazz band right now. That was Fly to the Foodbirds. That featured John on alto sax. And Kendrick hold it down as Count Basie on piano. So thank you again for coming out tonight. We have a great evening of music with lots of different ensembles. We always start with our jazz band, which is a great group. They only rehearse once a week after school, at most, and we had a lot of weeks where we couldn't even do that with lots of Thursday games, so they've worked really hard. We have a lot of new, a lot of freshmen in this band, lots of people that weren't in the jazz band last year, so they're doing a great job learning this music that's so important in this region and city where this music came to be. So we're going to keep it going with Greensleeves, which is a traditional holiday time song. There's a really cool arrangement. It's going to feature also John. And our rhythm section bass player and Barry sax over there. This is, oh, and Ken, no, sorry, AJ. It's my computer, AJ. Sorry. So here we go. This is Greensleeves. Thank you, thank you. One more hand for AJ, so on that one. How you doing? Thank you. That one also featured a lot of work from our rhythm section, which was Mario on drums, Alison on bass, Kendrick on piano, and basically Gabe on Mary playing the bass part there too. So one more hand for them. Okay, this will be our last tune with our jazz band tonight. Next Tuesday, we're going to continue our annual courtyard concert that'll feature more from our jazz band, as well as some other vocalists and small groups. So if you'd like, you can come out again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. to see us in our courtyard. We're playing in a little less formal setting. You'll hear more from this group and lots of other ensembles, smaller ensembles and vocalists that you won't hear from tonight. So coming out next Tuesday to hear some more from them. But tonight, this will be our last tune. This is a version of another standard holiday tune, Angels We Have Heard on High. But this one will sound a little different, and it's called Angels We Have Heard, Ken Salsa. And we'll feature Jaden on trombone and Renee on trumpet. So this will be it for our jazz band, and then we'll continue with our concert.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more hand for our jazz band. Riverdale High School Jazz Band. Thank you, thank you. All right, next up, in a second, we're going to hear from our percussion ensemble, and then we're going to keep it rolling with our concert. All right, thank you. So this is our symphonic band. That was Excelsior Galop by Karl King. A lot of like historic marches like that by King and Sousa. Those bands used to tour the country, and they really usually wouldn't have a conductor. A lot of times they just have what you just saw, so they would just count it off, and they would play. And that was really our popular music in America in like the early 1900s, was like band music. So we're trying to do a lot more marches. It's a big part of the history of this ensemble, and bands in schools and all that happens because of those parades, bands. This next one will be Little Drummer Boy, but matched up with another famous orchestral classical song called Bolero by Ravel, so it's called the Little Drummer Boy Bolero. So you'll hear both of those themes, in particular this famous drum part that in the original is like a 9-minute, they play the same thing for like 9 minutes, and have to get louder for 9 minutes, playing the same 2 measures. So this will be Little Drummer Boy Bolero.
I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight to see all their hard work that they've been putting in. So all of you guys give them a round of applause for being here tonight at 6:30 on a Monday. Thank you. And they have been working particularly hard on this next selection. It is a little challenging in a lot of different ways, but this is Havana Nights. It's not necessarily a Christmas song or a holiday song, but it's a fun one, and they've had a lot of fun working on it, and we're going to feature a few of our students on solos. So we're going to feature John on saxophone. You can wave when you We're going to feature Jaden on horn this time instead of trombone. And Zavi on trumpet. And the percussion section, because there's a lot of moving parts back there, and I'm surprised that they're handling as well as they are. So percussion section too. Enjoy.
So thank you. Now you're hearing from our full entire band, Riverdale High School Band. That was Reindeer Rag, so it was Maple Leaf Rag and The Entertainer, two famous ragtime tunes, and like, I don't know, like 20 little Christmas songs thrown in, little snippets. This next one is a really nice arrangement of In the Bleak Midwinter, which is an old folk song, British kind of winter time song, but a really cool arrangement by Robert Smith. So this will be our full band. This ensemble has had 2 rehearsals and a dress rehearsal, right? This concert always happens really quickly after our football season, so they did a ton of work, all from August all the way, or July, all the way through October, preparing for football games and our marching assessment and all that. And so just 2 rehearsals before Thanksgiving and a dress rehearsal is all they've had to prepare all this music, so they've done a great job learning a lot in a short amount of time. So yeah, one more hand for our full band. And this will be In the Bleak Midwinter by Gustav Holst, arranged by Robert Smith.
All right, this next one's just good old Jingle Bell Rock. If you know the words, you can sing along, but we also have very talented vocalist Marley Trosclair on vocals. Yes. I don't know, maybe give her a half, and then you guys can join in later if you want, but...
Hey, you want to see this one?
My house.
In a few, Mama. In a few.
And our last tune of the night is Sleigh Ride. But before we get to our last tune, just in case we get caught up with business, we would like to really thank you guys for letting us have your kids every day and working with them. And it's really great to get to work with them. They're awesome kids, and I can tell that you guys pour into them just as much as we pour into them. So thank you so much for being here and for supporting our students. If you're looking for your kids, they have to help us for just 5 to 7 minutes so that we can get this all broken down really quickly, and then you will have them and you will see them. Thank you so much again. Thank you.